Hey everybody, welcome to the Unshackled Mom Alliance. I'm Lisa Johnson, and today I have Dawn Michelle Morton here, and she's going to talk to us about just those really rough times that we have in motherhood. Whether you have a child that has other abilities, or you adopted and there's some things that are happening there, or you're just having a rough day today, this is just for you. So welcome, Dawn. Tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, everyone. I am so blessed to be here. I am Dawn Michelle Morton. I am a writer and founder and caregiver support for parents and caregivers of children with special needs and a co-occurring mental health diagnosis. And our community is called the Warrior Space. And we have a deeper community called the I Matter Warrior Circle. And I am just here to share and encourage and to be a light for all of us who go through some hard times and some hard days.
I love that. I love that. So why don't you go ahead and take us back to when you first became a mom, because that's important, right? Was there a moment when you realized that this road might look a little different than you expected?
Yes, definitely. I became a mom in a different route than the traditional mom route. I was a little older and I adopted my daughter. She was 4 when she came into my home, almost 5. So that looks different. And when you've been longing for a child for so long, like I did, you're just so happy that this baby's in your life and that like God gave you this child and you're like, I am golden, I am set. Like I'm a family. We are a family now, you know?
Right.
And
Yeah.
Right. We're family now. And
Yeah.
that's also how the system kind of works. So that's a whole other conversation we can get into later if you want to. But yes, she came into our lives with her own background, her own trauma, her own PTSD. She did not have, you're not in the situation because you have a perfect golden family. And I know none of us have perfect golden families, but for children who are in foster care and children who are just in the system, as they call it, just children in foster care, they have a rough go. They have trauma. They have trauma that they can't express because they don't have the words. They don't have the emotional vocabulary. So all of this came into our home and we didn't have a clue. We didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
We didn't have a clue what was happening. You know, I would like to say that other moms and dads are prepared because they have that 9-month journey, but really I don't think any of us are prepared. You know, it's that old thing, there's no user manual. I don't think any of us are prepared. But for specifically in our case, with the trauma background for our child, we were really not prepared. And a lot of it too doesn't come out until a little later, you know. And so when I really knew that our reality was going to be quite different from other people's reality, and I don't want to say the norm, but you know, like the traditional thought of parenthood, you know, like you think your child's going to go to school and your child's going to grow up and your child's going to go to college and get married and have babies and blah, 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 you know, and you have this tradition, this life path that's just ingrained in each of us. And that's what you want for your child. Yep. So when I knew that this reality for us was going to be quite different, it wasn't when the diagnoses started like coming in, all the acronyms and the things. It was when I had to go and have her name put on a housing list when she was 8 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, because the list is so long that you have to prepare at 7 and 8 for 30, 40 years from now. Right? Wow. And so as a mom, that's a really disappointing, and you don't want to be disappointed. You don't want to be like, oh my God, this is happening to us. You don't, and then you feel guilty because you feel that way.
Yeah. Mama guilt is real.
Oh, mama guilt is real no matter what kind of mama you are. I think it's just, you know, and mom guilt is so real. Yes, it is. I totally agree. But that's when it really, I think, hit me the most was when I had to prepare a life for her that was going to be so different. And I had to prepare it decades prior.
Yeah.
Before we even really knew who she was.
Yeah.
Or is, you know?
Yep.
So yeah, that's when it really hit me, was putting her name on that. It's the little things. And also for me, it's the little things that you don't think would be those things that like trigger that too.
Yeah.
You know?
So talk to us about like, so is there something about raising a child with some deeper needs that people on the outside just fully can't understand? Like, unless you're like in it and you know it, that they're looking on, they're like, what is that? Right.
Right. I think a lot of people, especially now because it seems to be more mainstream, it's out there, it's on TV, it's on social media more. The mindset is shifting in this area, but I think a lot of people, they see that it's hard and they see that it's different. But one thing that I don't think they see fully or can even understand it, and it's not their fault, I don't think they can fully understand the constancy of it.
Yeah.
That our lives are not, oh, here's a little crisis, and then you're smooth sailing for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want to like downplay anybody else's home or existence at all by any means. Yeah. But when you have a child who's, how did you say it? Other ability?
Yeah, sure.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
When you have a child who's other abilitied, our days are constant. So we are constantly on guard. We are constantly hypervigilant. We are living in this space where we're always listening. We're listening for sounds. We're monitoring medical things. If you have a high support needs child, you're a constant on guard, on high alert, because we have to be so proactive for our children because they can't express this hurts, or I don't know how I'm feeling right now, or just the constant check-ins for mental health too. When we went on that side with my daughter, just being proactive about it just puts you on this high alert that you really get to the point you really can't relax and just enjoy. It's really hard to enjoy the ride like other parents can. And that really bums you out. That bums me out.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that, some people are lucky that they have a little bit of a support system that they can, grandma is also educated and can take care of those things. And so grandma can be that support. You can get a weekend away. But that is so rare because, and, when you have someone that has other needs in your life, even if grandma is watching, you're hyper vigilant in your brain because it's just as how you're, programmed. You don't ever have that moment. And really, I think that, people are becoming more and more compassionate. There's a lot more grace for behaviors in public and different things that happen. However, I think that you're right. It's like, if you have never been blessed with a taste of bacon, you have no idea what bacon tastes like. I can describe it to you, but if you've never had it, you don't know what that is, that day to day, always being on guard, always being proactive, always trying to see way out here versus only like for this day. It is a lot more difficult.
Right.
So what are some emotions that you carried with that you didn't feel safe saying out loud?
Oh gosh, for years until now. When I finally decided and just fully realized, when it fully came to me that I couldn't be the only one going through this.
Yeah.
The two that come to me the most powerfully are grief and guilt.
Those are powerful.
And because too often, we associate grief with losing someone in our life. But there's this parent grief that parents and caregivers have for their children that they don't want to even say the word. They don't want to acknowledge it. They don't want to address it.
Yep.
And it's so powerful to address it because I know I feel it. I know my parents feel it. They mention it to me. They bring it up. This guilt, this grief of the life that we dreamed of.
Yeah.
For our child. And we love our children. We love our babies. That doesn't change. But there's this disappointment, this grief that has to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
So it can heal and you can just move forward and just know that our babies are totally capable of greatness and success and everything that they were meant to be, that they are created for. They are created for a purpose. All of our babies are created for a purpose. Each one of us is. All of us are. Yeah. And so to fully just embrace that purpose for our babies and to not feel that guilt for feeling that grief.
I think it's so hard to have that switch, right? Where you're because you think this is what a happy, successful childhood looks like. And this is how I'm going to provide this for you. And it's no, but that's not what happy, successful childhood looks like for my child. This is. And it's reprogramming your own brain to what success looks like and what happiness looks like. And then you see, then you see online, I know so many moms have shared with me, they see online the perfect family, right? They're on vacation, they're doing their thing, they're doing and you just have that moment of, I know that was not going to happen for me. We are not ever going to be able to go to an amusement park as a family and just enjoy, or we are not ever going to be able to just go to the ocean and I can just sit back and play in the sand. It just isn't going to happen. And it's being able to acknowledge that it's okay to mourn that loss and that grief, and that, it just looks different than maybe you expected.
Right. And acknowledging in that mourning and that grief that you just said is so powerful, because that's where healing takes place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is in the acknowledgement. And I think too, in the understanding that you're not alone. You are not alone in this. There's other people feeling it too.
Yep.
And there's a shame too. There's a shame for feeling guilt about stuff like that. And that the shame is what shuts you down and just isolates you. And that's not what I want for anybody. That's why I am here, because I am speaking up and speaking out. And I want everyone, I want parents and caregivers to know that these feelings are real and your feelings are valid, and it's okay to feel them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why we have them. They're our emotional regulation. So we can feel them and acknowledge them and learn what we need to learn from them and move forward into our best life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So many of the moms that I serve describe feeling like someone let all the air out of their tires, right? They still love their child fiercely, but they're running on empty. What happens to a mom when she stays strong for everybody else too long?
Ooh, that's a good question. She loses herself.
Yeah.
She loses herself. And the one thing that is the worst part about losing yourself to me is when I lost myself, because I've been here, I've been on this journey. I lost myself. I didn't know who I was anymore. My dreams didn't matter anymore. That's why I am so passionate about parent and caregiver support, because you matter and your dreams still matter, because you were created for greatness too.
Yeah.
You were put there for a purpose. And so it's when you're strong for too long, you forget that. And when you forget who you are, I know to me, I couldn't be the best parent for my daughter when I didn't know who I was myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think too often too, we're just kind of told, and there's this underlying I'm the mom, so I have to be strong, and I have to do this, and I have to stay up late, and I have to make sure everything's done. And really, it's okay to rest. It's okay to rest. And
so how do you rest when you're in constant stress? How do you allow yourself that rest?
And this is such a hard thing for us moms, for me especially. And I speak into dads too, because they're in the middle of this. They're being the caregivers and the parents too. You really have to, I had to draw my line in the sand. When I got to the point, I was so lost and so gone and just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And when my strength was no longer a force to be reckoned with, It was overbearing. It was like a weight on my shoulders that I couldn't hold up anymore.
Yeah.
So I had to draw the line in the sand and go, how can I go about this differently so I can have my best life, and not in a selfish way. That's not selfish at all. But I had to watch my own mental health, because when I went down my daughter's mental health journey, my mental health went to, I'm going to be completely 100% honest. My mental health tanked, and I couldn't be the best mom because I was so busy being in survival mode from being in this strength and holding it all together on the outside for so long. I couldn't do it anymore. And so when I took a step back and really took this step back and learned what my body needed and who I am and the things I needed, and when did I feel the most happiness? When did I feel the most positive? When did I have strength and mean it? And it wasn't just this facade I was putting on, just this masking of strength to keep going every day, just to keep us all alive and keep us going. Right? I had to draw my line in the sand and give myself permission. This gentle grace and permission that we are all allowed to have that rest. And rest doesn't have to be anything big. Like, it doesn't have to be like, I'm going to go on vacation for a week. When can I do that? I can't go on a vacation. I got to do this. I got a child. I got medical appointments. I have therapy appointments. I have all the appointments. I understand. I've been there. I know what a full day of appointments looks like, and going from place to place and doing it all at home because you got to reinforce it and all the things. I know moms and dads. I know. But you have to be proactive for your own mental health and your own energy in your own life. And that's okay, because it doesn't take anything away from your child. And I want to reiterate that. Taking care of yourself does not take anything away from your child.
Well, and I think that, it is a long-standing saying, because it's so true. You cannot give from an empty cup. You do have to fill yourself back up. And I think that, so many moms that are listening are like, my friends don't understand. They have regular kids, right? I have no idea. So where do these moms find resources so they can have that rest? Where do moms find resources so they can have support? I feel like, I'm at the IEP meetings, I'm fighting for my kid. Nobody understands what's going on. So what is the solution? How can I find help?
There is help, because I found it and I created it for my community. And there are so many ways to find help, even like in the warrior space where I am, where my parents and caregivers are. We are a global community. So it doesn't matter where anyone is. It's a safe space. You can talk, you can share your triumphs, your vents, your questions, your IEP questions. We have IEP experts on board in there. And there's parents in every level of the journey. But one thing I want to say is, in my community, and I encourage you to look in yours, because a local base where you can physically chat with people, and we do have live events. We have live events on for the warrior space consistently. Warrior chats is what we call them. So we can all get online, because we're all busy and we all may not be able to leave our homes because we are caregiving. So we offer that as an option. But there's sports leagues in my town. I'm just going to tell you from my experience. I met a lot of people in special needs sports leagues, Special Olympics, sitting next to moms at therapy appointments. Sitting next to moms at therapy appointments. The special education at your school. Just connect, go to events, anything that's offered. And if you need help finding these, I am here, because I was there. This is literally why I created the warrior space, because I knew on my journey, I couldn't be the only one going through. And my journey is very specific to special needs and mental health. And I was on an island alone, and nobody was talking about it. I was researching online. I didn't find much. I didn't find anything locally. I didn't find anything online, no groups and anything. And so I just decided I wasn't going to let anyone else feel the way I felt in that moment. And so I really encourage you to be bold and reach out. and reach out to the warrior space, and we can go from there. We have people all over. You may be neighbors with somebody in the group. There may be people in a town.
And we'll have that information in the
Right.
in the comments below or in the description to make sure that people can click on that. Because I'm sure that as we're talking, there are moms who are sitting home, or even dads who are sitting home and going, "Oh, we need something that brings the people together. We need some of that cohesiveness. And I want to do it, but I don't know where to start." So I love that you are opening yourself up to that.
Oh, and I'm totally here for people. Like I said, I don't want anyone to feel lost and alone as I felt. And because you're not, and I know it feels that way because I was there. I totally, there was no one to talk to. It's like you said, no one gets it. No one understood. It's very, very hard. I am very blessed with a circle of parents and caregivers who they do understand, and all of our journeys are different. And so not every aspect is going to be exactly the same, because not every aspect of your family is like my family, and vice versa. But we do have some common traits and the common feelings.
Yeah.
And so I really encourage everyone that there is a community for you. You do have a family in this, locally, online, in the warrior space. And that's one thing we talk about a lot, is educating our families and our loved ones on what our family needs and what our children need, what our child needs, because, a party can be different. A lot of people, just go into a birthday party.
Yeah.
A lot of families have a hard time just going to a birthday party, because what if it's a hard day?
Yeah.
What if you get there and it becomes a hard day? And then they don't want to be embarrassed because they have to leave early, or their child acts up, or anything like that. And so, to offer that safe space to families is a passion of mine, and also to help them with the education and the words to share with their family and friends. Because I know that when I've been honest and shared where I'm coming from with a family member, when I don't want to be embarrassed to leave the party, but I share with that family member, hey, we may get there and it may be a hard day. And we may need to leave early. And I have never been met with anyone going, don't come.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that is so important, because how can you argue with, I'm afraid that I'm going to feel embarrassed. Right. There are not very, very many family members, although I know they're out there, that would be too bad, your kid's a brat, don't come. Right. And so
that could happen. It definitely could happen.
Yeah. So how do you share with moms, or what do you do with moms where I have tried with my family and they just think I don't discipline enough, or they feel like I don't, he's just being a brat, or there's not, they don't want to see the other piece to that. They just are like, nope, you need to control your child. Do you cut them off and go, okay, well, we can't participate, or what do you tell families?
This is such a hard situation for a family member to be in. And I know it happens way too often. And that's the scary part of this journey.
Yeah. Yep.
Is there are people, I have them, I've talked to many, many parents and caregivers who said exactly the same thing you did.
Yep. Yep.
And it really has to come down to personal preference. What is safest for you and your child?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's okay even if you have it's weird to go against your mom, dad, right? Because you grew up from the time you were an infant to obey them. They know what they're talking about, but it's okay to go, you know what? I need to take a break from them because it's not the best for my child and for my family. And that is a hard thing to do.
Setting the boundaries.
Yeah.
Setting the boundaries. We go really deep into this in the I Matter Warrior Circle because of this. Because just to have the conversations that are considered hard, but also that you really don't want to have.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have this boldness and bravery to have them, to advocate for your child in every situation. And I
Yep.
think the hardest time to advocate is when it's with a family member.
Yep.
Because there's that whole dynamic of, well, you should love us regardless.
Yep.
I shouldn't have to say this. And, you know, like what if it is your mom? What if it's grandma?
Yeah.
What if it's grand aunt Rachel, you know, and you have to have this conversation with a person who is from a whole other generation.
Yep. Yep.
You know, I'm a Gen Xer, so I'm not saying anything bad about the boomers because I was raised a certain way. You know, like we were raised undiagnosed.
Yep.
This was not a thing. You were quiet and you went along and you learned to mask real quick.
Yep. Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
my generation. That's my generation.
There's also that piece of, you know, I already am feeling guilty about the way my child's behaving. I already feel guilty about, you know, and I already have all those feelings that we talked about before about my child. And so now I have to go to great Aunt Sarah that has all like, it's been iffy. Like she's been good sometimes, maybe not, or mom and dad who I love. And I have to have these really hard conversations when I'm already feeling bad. And so it just is such a weird dichotomy. And I love that you give parents strengthening ability, things to say, and the gift of it's okay if you say for right now we're going to take a break.
It's totally okay. And that is so hard because like that's just hurts my heart. That's a gut wrenching situation. It is not easy.
No.
But yes, it is okay. And to give parents the okay and the strength and just the knowledge in having communication and the confidence in their communication and to better understand how to come at a conversation, not only for parents, but for IEPs, doctor's appointments. Our confidence in our communication, it sets the stage and sets the atmosphere. So if we're calm and confident, it comes across as calm and confident, and we have a better understanding between each other, and we have a better chance of being heard and understood.
Yep. I totally agree.
Just to offer confidence, and you know, these are hard situations.
They really are, and I think that you know, it just is so honoring to be able to have somebody who's like, you know what, I've been there. I walked in those shoes, and it's going to be okay. There is light and hope at the end of this dark tunnel that you feel like you're going through right now.
Yeah, and a lot of times the lack of clarity in familial relationships is just a lack of communication and assumptions.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
If you can just sit down and say, I feel sad when my family can't come and just be at a party, and it hurts me inside to not be able to relax and just know that my children are okay, and how can I help this situation? How can we make this run smoother? How can you know, we get together but everyone's going to be okay in it?
And I think that, you know, it's also okay to get your own therapist, right? It's also okay for you to have your own support so that you can go have a place to vent, say whatever you need to say. And maybe, you know, in the beginning, that is your break. That is your vacation or whatever. The 1 hour a week that you get to go and share anything that you want to with somebody who will listen and affirm everything that you're saying.
Amen. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I am a proponent. Yes, and yes. Like, I don't have anything else. You said it all. Yes, 100%. I have a counselor through all this, through my journey. And because of that reason, I needed someone I could talk to that was just here to hear me, here to hear me and help me regulate myself. Help me on this journey, support me, encourage me. You know, it's vital. It's vital to get your own support. however that best looks for you. And I very much support your own personal counselor, your own therapist, everything like that. And that's a beautiful way to rest and reset and make yourself a priority.
Yep,
And,
absolutely.
Our actions to ourselves and toward ourselves show us that we matter.
Yep.
And once you get in that habit that, I matter, my happiness matters, my dreams matter. Yeah. You'll just see yourself going up and up and up. And it's practice. It's practice.
Absolutely. And I think that, even if today, as a mom who's listening, right, even if it means just for today, I'm going to pick the candy bar that I want and I'm just going to taste that. Or I'm going to have this cup of coffee. This is my favorite flavor or my favorite creamer or whatever. And it seems kind of inconsequential, but if you start small and you start treating yourself in a small way, it's a step. It's a baby step, but it's a step. And then every day, just begin to build some of that.
Exactly. One of my favorite things to do is to tell parents is, if you love outside, go outside for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes changes your whole mindset. 2 minutes, a walk around the block, whatever you need to just up your spirit, up your mindset, get in your happy place. It's like you said, rest doesn't have to be a big deal. It can be a small. I'm so glad you said that. It can be a small. Getting your favorite coffee.
Yeah.
I love chai tea. That is my thing of the day. And making those special moments just for yourself, where I'm going to sit here for this long, 5, 10, 20 minutes, whatever, and sit here and breathe and read my favorite book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Study. Look out the window, sit on my front porch and just see what's going on and going by.
Yeah.
Just a few minutes to set yourself up for success for the rest of the day or at the end of the day, whenever your body needs it. That's one thing that I really, really, I love to instill in people is trust yourself, trust your body, because we know what we need. We may not know it up here yet because we're in the survival mode state.
Yep.
And we've been there for so long, but our bodies have not forgotten.
No, true.
Might have forgotten. But our bodies have not forgotten. And so to just sit in that space, make a list, sit in that space and go, what would make me happy in this moment? And give yourself permission and the grace to go do it because you are worthy and you deserve it.
Yeah. And sometimes it just is, for me, is 5 minutes standing barefoot in the grass. Just that grounding makes such a huge difference. So let's shift a little bit on that note and shift to the nervous system and exhaustion, right? So what do you want the exhausted mom to understand about her nervous system and her need for support?
You are not created to do this alone.
Yeah.
And what your nervous system is telling you is exactly what your body needs.
Yeah. So how do I get in tune with that? I just want to go through one day where I don't have to clean up, throw up, or I don't have to change messy diapers or whatever that looks like for you and your family. We talked about taking those moments, but I don't even know. I'm that mom who's completely exhausted. I don't know. I can't even take another step in front of me. So what do you tell that mom?
Just back to being okay.
Yeah.
We've been there, and being a mom, it's so easy. And it's not to say that you'll never go back to that exhaustion because everything's a season. But I feel too that as a person who's been there, completely exhausted, completely gone.
Yeah.
Being proactive in my mental health and my self-regulation and taking care of my nervous system when I need rest, when I need food, and it looks different in different seasons. Sometimes I have to be very, very proactive. Okay, I'm going to get up at this time. I know I have to drink water. I'm going to schedule it in because I have so much going on in our world and so many appointments and so much going on. Literally schedule. I'm going to sit here for 10 minutes. If you're in this season where you have to schedule every second of your day to get clarity and to whoosh that over, like just get that overwhelm in check right here. That's what you need to do right now. And it's totally okay, because in other seasons, you're going to be more relaxed.
Yeah.
But I've also learned when I've had to zone in on, I'm going to schedule it in right here, because if I don't schedule it in, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen, I'm a hot mess, y'all. I'm a hot mess the rest of the day.
So good. That is such a great tip.
Thank you.
I love that.
Because that, I want to share what helped me, because, I learned it. I wasn't always doing it, but I know I can physically, mentally, spiritually see the result of just being proactive in it and giving myself the permission and having non-negotiables in your day. These are these moments that no matter what, these are going to happen. And sometimes that means getting up really, really early before the kids and the husband and the family get up.
Yeah.
Just set that stage, to set the foundation. I'm going to tell you something right now. In one of my daughter's programs that she had to be in, one of her hospitalizations, she had to be on the bus at 6 a.m. And so in order to get her on the bus, we had to leave around, 6. So I guess I had to take her somewhere to get her on the bus. And so our day looked like I had to get her up by 5 o'clock.
Yep. Yep.
And I tried to just get up at 5 and get her on the bus, and then I would start my day. Lost. Nothing got accomplished. I was a hot mess. I was all over the place. My days were by the time I got it together, it was time to pick her up, and then it was time for dinner, and then it was time to get ready for bed, and then I was exhausted, and we started all over.
Yeah.
Right. I really had to do proactive stance and go, okay, to have my best day, these are the things I need to do. I have to have my Bible study in the morning. That's when I like mine.
Yeah.
So in order to get her up at 5 o'clock, I was getting up at 3:30 in the morning.
Wow.
To set us up, both of us up for success. Because I had my quiet time. And yes, my body does not like 3 a.m. I'm not going to lie. I am not that person who gets up at 3:30. I am not that person. You know that whole thing where get up at 5 a.m. and start your day. No, my body is like,
right?
Got to be kidding.
Same, girl, same.
No. But for this season, because I had to be in this season. Yeah. Because seasons happen, and our kids are our kids.
Yep.
And so for the season that I was in, I got up at 3:30 in the morning. I had my quiet time. I got myself dressed. I got everything ready. I got myself in a good place to get her up, because then I wasn't rushed.
Yeah.
So she wasn't rushed, because as the mom, we're the atmosphere. We're the barometer.
Yeah.
We set the temperature. We set that temperature.
We do.
Especially for our children. My daughter's autistic, ADD, ADHD, IDD. One of her things is she can't be rushed. So if I'm freaking out rushing, she doesn't even tap the brake. She comes to a screeching halt, and we're not getting anything done. And it took me a while to realize that, because you have to flush out what works for your child.
Yeah.
I had to flush out what worked for my child. Getting up at 3:30 in the morning, doing my Bible study, my quiet time, getting reset, spending my time breathing, getting dressed, having myself all ready so I could go in and get her ready, get her help, get her breakfast, do everything so I could remain calm. So she remained calm, and we'd had good mornings.
Yeah, and now are you getting up at 3:30 in the morning?
Oh, no. Heck no. Heck no. Thank you, Jesus. No, because we're in a different season. We're in a different
season. Yeah.
It's a season. And and survival mode is not meant to be permanent.
Yeah.
And too many of us are just sitting in it. And I get it, because when you're in survival mode, you don't see a way out of it, because it's reality. It's every day. It's our life. It doesn't have to be your life. Yes, like I said, our kids are our kids. And that's not, we're gonna go through some stuff on the daily because our kids are our kids.
Yep.
And our situations are different. And yes, they're harder. Our days are harder. Let's just be honest about it. And it's okay that our days are harder, because that's where we are, and that's our season, and everything is for a reason.
Yep. Yep.
And I always want to tell people that you are the perfect parent for this baby.
I say that same thing. Yep. Yep.
You are exactly who this baby needed, or this wouldn't be your baby.
Yep. Yep.
And just embrace that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of failure. There's a lot of feelings of failure, but I think there is, all mom guilt. We'll circle back to the beginning of the mom guilt. But, failure is information, and it's not failure. A friend of mine says something that I love and I always stick with. There's no failure, only feedback. So nothing's failure. It's information.
Yeah.
Right. It's just, I use it all the time. There's no failure, only feedback. Everything is information. Everything is information for you to use to grow as a parent, as a caregiver, as a mom, as a human being, to help our children, and then to model that it's okay. It's okay to mess it up. It's okay when it's great, you celebrate, and when it's not okay and it's not great, you learn from it, and you take the feedback, and you take that information, and then the next time you have a tool to go, okay, that didn't work.
Right. Exactly.
Do that again. You got something to build on, but you tried it.
Yeah.
Things that work for my daughter are not anything the therapist and the strategies, like all of like none of those, none of that. And I was like, but this is supposed to work. Not for her, and that's okay. She's her, and it's okay for your child. Whatever works for you and your family to just have your best life. You know your kid better than anyone else. I tell all my friends that we know our kids better than anyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. For sure. So many moms don't even realize that they're living in chronic stress. So what are some of the signs of that?
Oh, not sleeping at night. Do you stay up all night thinking about what you're supposed to be doing tomorrow? Or what you didn't get done today? Oh. Oh. Or it can be so many things. It can be and it shows up in so many different ways, and so many different for everybody. Even like the things that are just popping in my head right now, digestion issues.
Yeah.
Because we hold everything in our guts.
Yeah,
we hold everything in our guts. And so indigestion, acid reflux, all the things. I know that's for me. I have to, just the stress of it all, headaches. Yep. It affects your blood pressure.
Yep.
It affects your focus. When you're like in a survival mode, when you're in survival mode, I think you fully know you're in survival mode because you can't focus on anything. You can't remember anything.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on from day to day. Everything's a blur and everything's an overwhelm.
Yep.
And because our bodies are not meant to handle, survival mode is fabulous when you are in survival mode, when you are trying to survive.
Right.
So it's meant for when the tiger's jumping out of the bush and we're like, what do we do? You fight or flight.
Right.
The momentary it's not meant to go on for weeks, months, years, decades.
Yeah.
And so often as a parent and caregiver, we're stuck in that. And we think we have to be to function successfully. And that's, at least I did. And then I was like, this is killing me.
Yeah.
Like my health, my mental health, my joy, gone. It affects every area. Survival mode affects every area of our existence.
It really does. Yep.
And it puts us in this tunnel where we only see what's right here. And we only see like, what do I need to do next? How do I survive today? How do I get through today? So we can get up in the morning and do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And who likes that?
Day after day after day, right? We were not created that way.
No. We were not, and our bodies were definitely not, and our bodies know that.
Yeah.
And that's why our bodies rebel against us.
Yeah, exactly.
Our immune systems. It's another one that came up just now.
Yeah.
There's so many things that our body shows us when we're in survival mode for too long. You know?
Yeah, and like we talked about, it's okay to have an outlet or whatever, even if 5 minutes here or there, a therapist, there's so many ways that you can kind of help alleviate that.
Right.
So you also say confidence is learned. What helped you grow yours?
Ooh, it took me a while. I'm not going to lie. It took me a while to figure out that it's where I always come back to. I know my daughter better than anyone else in the room.
Yep.
Because sometimes that room is set up against you from the very, very beginning. I've been in that room. I've been in that space where my daughter's the enemy and she needed to change. And it's like, no.
Right.
My daughter is not the problem here.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And the system is set up to, this is totally my experience. Y'all may have different experiences. I came from some really, really hard IEP meetings where I was literally left in the dark for a reason. I was meant to feel that I didn't have a say, that they knew my daughter better than me, and what they said goes.
Yep. Which I think is very common for many, many, many parents.
Okay. So that's what I'm understanding. And yeah. I don't want to go as far. I'm going to become an IEP advocate now and knock some walls down. That's going to be my new passion. Because what they don't tell you is you have all the control. And they don't want you to know that.
Right. Yep.
They can't leave the meeting until you are satisfied.
Yeah.
So,
and if you have a hard time advocating for yourself, I know Idaho does, but does every state in the United States have an advocate system that you can call? Like in Idaho, you can call. They're called IPOL. You can go and call, and then they will send a representative that can come and help advocate for you at an IEP meeting if you can't advocate for yourself. Because all the legal pieces and all the different things are so overwhelming and scary for so many parents that It helps so much to have somebody come alongside. It's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea I could do that.
Yes. And one thing they don't tell you as well is you can invite anyone you want to an IEP meeting.
Yeah. True.
Anyone you want. And yes, and I'm in Texas. So yes, in Texas, we have Partners Resource Network. We have a lot of advocacy groups, but that's the one that I know the best is Partners Resource Network. But yes, they come in, they'll sit with you, they'll educate you on the IEP. That is one thing that I really want to share today about confidence is educating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Educating yourself and setting yourself up for success in these meetings, because I know for me, when I get in the meeting, it's all over, like, it depends on how the meeting's going. What if it's not going well? All my questions that I have just go fly out my brain. So I bring a piece of paper and a pen. I bring my notebook and my pen, and beforehand I write down every single question I have.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
Every single question, because then I don't have to rely on my memory. I don't have to rely on my memory to ask it. I don't have to rely on my memory to remember what they said. Yep. Because I literally write it down, and I allow myself that space to say it's okay that I have questions and I'm writing them down.
Yeah.
Because it's okay. It's totally okay. That's and just educating yourself on IEPs, since we're talking about that, educating yourself on your child's diagnosis, educating yourself on the rules of the laws in your state. Yeah. And federal laws, especially surrounding education.
Yeah.
Because
which I know feels overwhelming, but every state has help that can come alongside you and help educate you.
Definitely. And sometimes and the thing is, as a parent, you have to be very proactive about it, because I've learned that they're not easy. It's not that they're not easy to find, but they're not on a billboard.
No, they're not. True.
They're not on a billboard. You have to ask in groups. You have to ask people, you have to ask at the school. We have the Texas Education Agency. So I'm sure every state has an education agency. You talk to someone in their special education program. You Google it. You do what you need to do to help yourself feel confident, so you know what to expect going in. And just like having that advocate, that person with you, your child's doctor, your child's therapist can come to these meetings, your child's mental health advocate, depending on where you're at and what organizations you use. A lot of organizations offer a mental health advocate for your child. And so that's a person who can come to your IEP and just help out on that end. I know for me, that helped me out a lot, having, I had a parent advocate. I was very blessed to have a parent advocate who just went to be on my side and ask questions that I didn't think of.
Yeah.
And just to support me. And so that just breeds confidence and setting yourself up for success going in. And like you said, just knowing the rules of your state and having an advocate with you. And don't be afraid to invite people. Don't be afraid to ask the questions, because that's why you're there, is to ask the questions. That's why you're in there. And I've had I've had wonderful, wonderful IEPs. And then I've had ones that were like, what in the world? And so, and a lot of it, right? Like, right? It just depends on who's at the table. Yeah. It depends on who's at the table. But as the parent, you deserve a place at that table. So don't ever let them make you feel you don't. And if you need an encouragement cheerleader conversation before you go to the IEP, call me, because we'll get you all fired up.
I love that.
In a confident, positive, you deserve a place at the table. You are your child's advocate. You are strong. You are mighty. You got this. It's all going to be okay. Because to honest and heartfelt communication, just ask the questions, and even say, I'm also older now. So I have being a little older mom, being a little older and all this too, you practice this confidence. I've been around here for a while now. I even say, I am not scared to say anymore, hey, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Right.
What does that mean? Because I've been in meetings where they are throwing letters at me and acronyms like confetti. And it's like, I don't know what that means. And I know, I don't want, and like that feeling where you're like, I don't know what that means.
Well, and it does not make you a bad mom that you don't know. It doesn't make you a bad mom. No.
Thank you.
Like, it's not like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me that I don't know these acronyms that all these professionals know. No, it's okay to ask those questions.
That's why you're there. Yes, it is totally okay. And just ask the questions and to feel okay in that, because sometimes they're in their circle too. And one thing I always tell people is never assume they're coming at you with, that they're coming at you to be mean, that they're coming at you aggressively. Like, just go into that meeting with kindness and respect in your heart for all the people at this table, and treat them with kindness and respect, and they will treat you in return with kindness and respect. And if they don't, that's okay, because you treated them with kindness and respect. You asked your questions, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Thank you, Lisa, for bringing that up. Don't be afraid to ask. And it does not mean that you're a bad parent. It definitely doesn't mean you're failing. It just means that you don't know something, and it's okay not to know. That's why you're there asking the questions, educating yourself, growing your confidence, gaining clarity. So then you can, and if you don't understand what it is, you can go research it. You can ask them, it's clarity and confidence. They go hand in hand. And to know it's okay, and to relax and ask the questions, and to take your time. Don't feel rushed. I've been rushed through some meetings. I've even told them, hey, I feel really rushed in this. Can we slow it down a bit?
Yeah.
Can we slow this down a little bit? I feel really rushed in this. Like, is there a reason for being so rushed? And sometimes they'll go, because sometimes they're so in it, and they do this all the time. So it's just a script they run, not in a negative way. It's just, they just spurt it out, and it's just a thing they do. And like, if you're not used to this, or you know, you're like, whoa, what did you just say? It's okay to go, could you repeat that, please?
Yeah.
It's totally okay to be heard and to feel heard, and to set that up, that just the confidence and the clarity going in, to know it's all going to be okay. And to set that like prayer intention of, everyone's here to help my child have the best life ever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a great positive outlook. I love that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so before we get to our last rapid fire question, what are some things that you would like to, just a finishing little thing that you'd like to share with those moms who are listening?
That even when it feels like you're so alone, you are not alone. You are not meant to carry this alone. And you matter. Your dreams matter. You matter in all this too.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming on. So you'll give me some resources and some things I can put in the description so that people can click on it. You said call me, so that you better have there's an email address or something they can connect.
I will.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. So as you all know, I like to end out with a little rapid fire, get to know our speakers, which is kind of semi-rapid because I always find something that I have to pick out and discuss. So First question is coffee, tea, or don't talk to me until I've had something.
Oh, I'm a chai tea addict right now. I love chai tea right now.
Me too. What is one small thing that instantly calms your nervous system?
Going outside.
Love that. If you unexpectedly get an hour completely to yourself, how are you spending it?
I'm laying in bed with my dogs.
Are you?
Yeah.
I was going to say, Hallmark movies are an hour and a half, so you can't watch one of those bad boys.
Yes. Start laying in bed with the dogs watching a Hallmark. That is my plan for tomorrow. I literally have it scheduled. Not joking. Scheduling happy moments, y'all. Moms and dads, caregivers. Schedule it in.
I love it. What is something people would be surprised to learn about you?
I'm a writer. What else? Oh, I feel like I should have something huge and exciting.
Deep and profound.
Deep and profound. Oh. That they'd be surprised to know? Is that the question?
Mm-hmm.
I did a brief stint as a ballroom dance instructor.
Oh, you did. That's amazing. I love it.
I feel like I should have something other than that. Maybe we'll circle back. If it pops in, I'll just work it out.
Today, on Chicago Moms Alliance, tomorrow, Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, wow. Let's do it. Yes.
I love that. Okay. So, favorite way to laugh? Movie, friend, husband, or something ridiculous on Instagram?
Oh, husband. Dude, he's hilarious.
He cracks you up, huh?
Oh, my gosh. He brings me such joy. God knew who I needed.
So what is one word your younger self would use to describe the woman you are today?
Bold.
Love that. Love that. Go to comfort food after a hard parenting day. Not that we should eat our feelings, of course, but let's be realistic.
Okay, no, I eat my feelings. I'm working, I could be working on that right now, but I have, okay. So I make this thing, and I learned about it from past family, and it's called tole. I don't know if that Toledo or tole, and it's like rice cereal with milk, and so I make it with almond milk. This is TMI, but it's like rice cereal, like not malto meal, but with rice. Am I allowed to say that? Is that a copyright infringement?
Yeah, we're good.
So rice cereal. And then I put almond milk, condensed milk, cinnamon, and vanilla. And it just makes like this little beautiful goopy textured, it's everything to me right now. And it's my total comfort food. So if I'm having like a harder day or I just want to sit and be cozy in our 85-degree February heat where I am, I make
Yes.
this little this warm little rice cereal thing for myself, and it just brings me comfort.
That sounds amazing, actually.
It's so good. It's so good.
Are you a plan everything person, or we'll figure it out on the fly?
I am both. I do like to sit with God every morning and kind of plan like what's going on for the day. But then, then you hit that point where God laughs at you. Where God's like, ha ha, we're doing this now. And so I'm a little of both. I'm trying my best to be like more flexible and not be so like, when like my plans change or like things don't go the way I expected them to go.
Yeah.
I'm practicing flexibility.
I love that. Okay, so what brings you pure joy in this season?
Talking to my daughter on the phone. I got to seeing my daughter on a video. My daughter doesn't live with us in this season. And so I got to have a video chat with her yesterday, and to see her face and see how happy and how healthy she looks and in what a good place she is in mentally, physically, emotionally. It just brings me joy as a mom to like go, okay, we've been through it. But to be in this season of light is such a blessing.
I think that is such a key to so many moms. If our kids are in that pure joy moment, it just is something for our mama heart, right?
Yes, makes it deeper. It's a deeper joy. Right.
Truly. Okay, finish this sentence. Being a warrior mom has taught me
to accept myself.
I love that.
To accept myself.
Well, I appreciate you coming and being part of our little chat. I think that there are so many amazing points that you gave today that I think a lot of moms are going to be able to use and utilize in their own lives. So come back and see us again sometime.
I would love that. Thank you so much, Lisa. It's so great to chat with you.
You too. Okay, there'll be things in the look for all the resources in the description, and we'll see you next time.